Well, it's alright.
Yeah, folks, it is alright. Who cares that it's stormy out in the Northeast? You're here with Writer's Bone. My name is Daniel Ford, and that was the Traveling Wilburys who let us in with End of the Line, one of my favorites from that group. Do me a favor. Google Traveling Wilburys and find one of their old music videos on YouTube. Pretty hilarious. Try figuring out who has the worst 80s mullet. Was it George Harrison or Bob Dylan? Tom Petty actually comes off looking normal looking in comparison. But you're not here for 1980s groups that delivered, and they did a lot. They were awesome. You're here for my best moment as a writer. And I have two. The first, I was in college, and one of my journalism professors called me out for writing scared. I was reviewing High Noon, a movie that I fell in love with pretty much instantly, but wrote kind of this syrupy, weird, kind of off-the-tracks review that made it sound like I didn't know what the hell the movie was about. I don't know if I even mentioned Gary Cooper's name in the review, and he's kind of the lead character, and he's kind of badass in it. So if you're not mentioning Gary Cooper in a review of High Noon, it's probably not a good thing. So he gives it back to me, and there are more red marks on it than I had seen in my entire life. But in this sea of red, there was like this one question that stood out that was underlined a couple times, and it said, "What are you afraid of?" That's kind of a big question for a 19-year-old kid who's, still trying to find his voice. And in that moment, the light bulb didn't go on. I didn't discover my voice right then and there. It would take a lot more heartbreak and poverty and just in your 20s moments to make that happen. But it led me on the road to the writer that I am today. The second moment was probably last year when I finished what I like to call my long-suffering novel. A former editor of mine said that novels can't be long-suffering, but I don't. She didn't go through the process of writing that one. So I think she might make an exception for mine. It was a bittersweet moment for a lot of reasons, but the biggest one, when you're writing a character for more than 10 years and he shares more of your DNA than at times you're willing to admit, it's tough to say goodbye. It's tough to let go. So let's hope that moment translates into a publisher. Publishers out there listening? And lucrative movie rights so that I can continue to financially support Sean. That guy has a treat yourself lifestyle. And he needs some money to back it up. And that's where I come in. So that's it for me. My name once again is Daniel Ford, and I'm the better looking half of Writer's Bone. You can find Writer's Bone on Facebook. You can tweet us on Twitter at Writer's Bone. Or you can follow our blog, writersbone.blogspot.com. That's a lot of Writer's Bone in a couple of sentences. Cheers.